Okay, so this is Burley, and what you need to do when you first walk in, go in. Yeah, again, there's three main windows here. There's a tree with various news sources. This is where you'll read stuff. Down here, the work section is what you want to do. This is a temporary spot. Every time you log in, it should clear, and this is where you put things you're working on. You'll want to access this folder, which is the shared folder for all stuff produced in this classroom. You go up to Open, Network folder, and go down to JNAL 5505. That'll load up here. A little hint I like to do is you right click on that and you go down to Sort by Date, Newest First, and that will put the latest stuff up here. This is where you find stories by reporters for each week. And in this particular week, we just had one. Claudia had, first of all, she started with an anchor intro to help you know what her story's about. Later, she filed the full story. This is useful as a newscaster to get a sense of what the story is covering, and then her actual item here as well. To edit this together by yourself, you're not going to take the audio out of Burley. And to do that, it's as simple as when you see a green icon like this, you save as, gives you the option to save it as an MP3 file. That'll put it on the desktop, or actually wherever you want to put on your remote computer. I recommend putting it on the desktop, and then you can see these icons on the desktop here. You can then email it to yourself through another program. That said, you want to find a spot to actually work on your newscast. Each student is given a particular spot. You find that, you go to this top window over to scripts, you'll see local scripts, various days of the week. Our class is on Wednesday, April 21st. Click that plus, opens it up. You see these news folders. Burley operates on a shared drive system, on a network drive. Each half-hour newscast has its own particular folder, and I've assigned this for each reporter. Karen, I'm going to ask you to use 5 a.m. Hopefully, I would check, first of all, make sure there's nothing in there. We'll say 5 o'clock is yours to work on. Cross your fingers that no students from Radio Humber come in and start using that as well. Hopefully it's earlier enough that you can use that. We say it's 5 a.m. We're pretending that you're writing a newscast for noon. This is just a place for you to write. So you grab that 5, drag it down drag it down into here, and it'll pop up a brand new window. Now you've got a space that follows that traditional Humber format. Here's your name, all that kind of stuff. You can write what you need to around here, add new pages if need be, right click, or you can add pages, new story. This is a story. You can write your material. If you like that, you can drag it over into here, put it where you want to in the lineup. And you notice it is timing things as you go along. You're aiming to have a newscast that is 6 minutes and 30 seconds long. Sports keep it about a minute or so, weather after there. So you're looking about 4.5 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes of news in the top part. So where are you finding news? Well, you do know that if you have student stories, you want to use at least, 2 stories there as well. You've only got 1 for this week. Next week, you might have another bit of selection as well. But if you go into CP, audio, and broadcast news, these are our newscasts that are around there as well. Canadian Press Audio is where there's actual audio things. U.S. Justice Department launching an investigation of policing practices, etc. Terry Pedwell. If you're interested in this story, you can drag it down.
The key rate remains at 0.25%, where it's
drag it into here. And you can see there's a story by Terry Pedwell if you want to use that.
The key rate remains at 0.2.
You can move the clip to the work folder, copy the clip to work folder. Yes, now you've got a copy. I would rename this Terry Pedwell, and you can save it to the desktop to bring it around. If you include it in your story, in your newscast, you want to clean up a lot of this stuff and come up with a conversational way. I say that for all the stories you find from Canadian Press. put them in your voice. They are written in broadcast format, but it's a formal one. You want to personalize it, know your audience, and know your own comfort in putting these together. So you can find stories here. You can also bring in stories from outside, like editorial things that you research or you work on. If there's a press release you want to work up, or there's something at Humber you want to include, by all means, please do that as well.